All right, look, this is from me to you from the heart. Okay, this is Uncle
Okay,
Mark and Professor. You jump in whenever you want, right?
I
So
will.
this is Uncle Marcus's 6 steps, guaranteed 6 steps to get your shit together for young men. Number one, get the fuck up. Get up in the morning and get out of bed before noon and fucking make your bed.
You got to
Why?
get out and get something. Don't let the days of your life pass by.
That's right. These days of your youth are precious. You don't realize it now, but you will later. You get up, you make your bed, and you get out. Go out. And then number two, you got to get stronger. I mean, physically stronger. I mean, mentally and emotionally stronger. Don't
I'll chirp
fucking
right
be a
in.
weakling.
How many of you make your bed? How many of you do at least 10 push-ups a day? When's the last book you read? When's the last magazine you read? When's the last thing you read that wasn't on your phone?
That's right. So get stronger mentally, emotionally, physically. And then number three, get the fuck out. Get out of the house every day. And I say get involved. If you don't have a job, then get involved. Volunteer, walk around the park, walk somebody's dog, walk your dog, whatever the fuck. Get outside, get in nature, and get involved with other people.
You
Okay.
know, I can attest to this. My experience with this, share your experience over opinion. Uh, at the end of COVID, I got caught up in working online and having to work a lot online. And I ended up having to live in a community or in a neighborhood that I did not know anything. I literally went months without leaving my house, months.
Wow.
And I
Wow.
realized, and I started to decline pretty fast. Why work out? Why go for even a walk around the block? Oh, what's it matter if I eat pizza every day? Why this? Why? It was like a mind fuck, man, because it just started to happen without even me noticing it. And it took a lot harder to get out of that hole than if you just start doing it now, man. And remember, baby steps, write shit down, pen to pad, don't put it in your phone. You got to get the mind working. In order to get the mind working, they tricking you. They try to slick you with the trickery and trick you with their slickery. You got to put the pen to pad. Do not
Good.
get lost in typing on the calendar on your phone. I need to do this tomorrow. I need to do that tomorrow. Then when you get up, you look
Right.
at your list and you cross off. And if you don't cross them all off, that's okay. But still make that list. Go.
That's right. And part of that is get a fucking job. I don't care if it's a shit job. I don't care how much debt you have from college. I don't care how much training you have. Get some change jingling in your pocket. Get a
My,
job. Even if it's a shitty job,
that's right.
just get a job.
Don't be afraid if it's a shit job and you feel all insecure about it. I will tell you this. My brother, just because my brother's a hustler, he is a top chef, a renowned chef in the country. He worked at a little, it's a local chain name, but like a McDonald's for 6 months just to make some side money to get a car. Because the way he looks at his money is like that money's one way. So I need something I need something extra if I want something extra. This was a top chef working at a McDonald's for six
Wow.
months just to stay
Wow.
focused.
And
Don't care about what you're doing. Stay focused
just
on
get started.
don't care about
That's the
others.
whole thing.
Stay focused on
Get
you.
started.
Yeah,
And you
yeah.
know what? If you got a job and you don't like it, then start a side hustle. Get a side hustle going. Start getting some change in your pocket. Start getting a little money.
And don't
Once you start doing something, work brings meaning to life, guys. You got to do something.
I
Now,
mean,
number
don't
5,
try to go the
and
easy way with Uber or DoorDash, and then you only work 10 minutes a day. Don't look at it like that. Try to find a place where you can log in. The gig economy, I know it's all new for us, and not new for us, but I mean, some are growing up in it, some it's new to us, and to someone like Unc, it's like completely, foreign. But I would say this: try to
not
avoid the
quite.
gig economy until you make it a side hustle. Like if you have a day
And
job at McDonald's, then do
totally
the
cool. So, just guess what, Professor? When
what's
I
that?
got fired from my job at Microsoft and I didn't know what the fuck I was going to do, I was stewing around the house. I was falling into the funk, and my daughter said, "You're getting depressed, Dad. You need to get out and get going." And I thought, well, I'm really curious about this gig economy. I got a new Forester. So I spent 2 months driving for Lyft in Seattle. And man, the I wouldn't want to do it for the rest of my life, and bless you if you're into it, but I learned a lot and it got me going. It got me out of the house, got some change in my pocket, and the next thing I know, I started writing again. People ask me, "What am I doing?" So get a job or a side hustle. Now, next one, number 5, get laid. Okay, look, you need to get laid. All right. This is important. If you're addicted to porn, if you don't know how to talk to women, you need to figure out how to get laid. If you live in a
Hold on,
state
hold on, hold
where,
on. The concept of addicted to porn, a lot of people don't even know they're addicted. So I would say this: Are you logging into porn once a week without a girl to watch it with you? Then I would call that addiction to porn. And I would just say, or excessive. All right, keep it
yeah,
going. I wasn't trying to cut you off. Some people don't
no,
know
it's
these.
important. If you're addicted to, if you, if you live in a state where prostitution is legal, get laid. If you live in a state where prostitution is not legal, find full release massage. You need to get that energy out. Okay. And if you live in a place where neither of those things are legal, then you're going to have to find some additional help. But you ultimately, you got to find a way to release that energy and to build a relationship with somebody. If you don't have a partner, if you don't have someone that you can get it on with, even casually, you got to find a way to release that energy, not through porn. Porn and sex are completely different. The experience is not even close. The experience of having sex, making love with a woman or a partner or whoever, whatever you choose, is completely different than beating off to
One
some
of the
picture
main
or some
things, gentlemen,
video.
one of the things about this and what Unc is leading to is the idea of just how to get comfortable saying the things that you like, learning what you like, and saying the things that you like in order to not be in a comfortable relationship just for sex. Right? Like I know, this is the other thing, Unc, when we're talking about young men, I know some young guys get some pussy. Next thing you know, they're living in a hell of a relationship, like it's an awful relationship because they can't think straight no more, right? They're just like, oh, I love sex, and I'll make it work. I'll make it work. Hey, I don't want to go
Hey,
without sex
hey,
for them.
that's a problem we can deal with. A bigger problem is not having that. Okay.
Okay,
I'd
all
rather
right,
deal with helping you have a healthy relationship than fucking getting you from zero to actually a relationship. Okay.
yeah, we'll talk about
Even a bad
relationships.
relationship is better
How to
than
break
no
up.
relationship in my mind, because a bad
Okay,
relationship can either be fixed or changed, right?
okay, all right, all right. I like that. We'll get into relationships another time. I like the idea of like trying to help people figure out how to break up. I don't think people know how to do that.
Yeah, we've got
Um,
to come back to them. But let's go to number six. Number six is
what's
really
number
important.
6?
That is get help. Okay. So this is how it looks, right? We got we got a really simple rubric here, boys and girls, and this is what we want to make sure that you understand. And that is that if you are trying to get up, get stronger, get out, get a job and get laid and you're having trouble, you need to get some help. Okay? And there's two kinds of help that you can get. You can get professional help or you can get what I call, loving family and friends help and stuff, but you need to get help. Okay? So if you're feeling down, if you can't get yourself out of the house, if you can't get a job, you can't get laid, dude, please get some help. And especially
Okay,
if you're
so let's
thinking
talk
about hurting
about
yourself.
what help looks like, okay?
Yeah.
So
Come on, professor. School us.
help is not sitting at the bar talking to the barkeep, drinking more, right? Now, I know a
Not
lot
help.
of you listening to podcasts, so I know a lot of you know where Better Health is and what Talkspace is, right? We are not advertisers for those organizations. However, I know they exist and they work. I actually know some colleagues from universities who are practicing counselors that work for those organizations, so I know they're helpful. So sign on to Talkspace or the kind or Better
Better
Health,
help. Yeah.
something like that. Additionally, if you can't get a job, guess what? WorkSource. Google that WorkSource in your community. The federal government is tied into all local governments with WorkSource, where they have computers and offices of people who are just trained to help you find jobs. That's what WorkSource can do, right? And if you can't talk to a lady or you're nervous to talk to a lady, start putting some time and effort into that, man. Google ways to approach women. One of the things that works for other men is trying to find a role model or a mentor, right? If you have a job and you see that guy's like kind of married and you're kind of like, hey man, how'd you meet your wife? How'd you talk to her? Like, it was one
Yeah.
of the things you said when you were single. Ask some silly questions. You know what I mean? Don't be afraid to use. And I tell you one of mine, one of my easy ways to talk to a girl. Hi, what's your name? That doesn't work. Like,
No.
oh, it's a nice bracelet. Where'd you get that? Boom. Next thing you
Yeah.
know, you're talking to a story because she's
I'm gonna
thinking
tell
about
all
grandma.
right, Imma tell you my secret, okay? Don't now
Oh,
don't spread this
okay.
around, but you wanna so I realized that if 2 things, if you can play an instrument, or I'm gonna give you my second secret. So I learned palmistry. I just got a cheap book on palmistry, and I'd be like, go to a so there'd be like this attractive woman sitting at the at the counter. I wouldn't talk to her. I'd talk to the waitress and I'd say, hey, I'm learning palmistry. Can I see your palm? She'd show me her palm. I'd say, oh yeah, this is your lifeline, this is your heart line, this is your and then the other girl should be like, "What's going on over there?" And I'd be like, does anybody else wanna get their palm?" Oh, and next thing you know, you got this cute girl's palm right in your hand. You're holding hands already, and you're telling her how great she is, and the next thing you know, she's writing her number on your hand. So, playing an instrument, but palm reading is so simple. Chicks love it, man.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm just
crazy.
saying, like, the idea from a communication professor standpoint, for a stranger to allow you to touch them, you're no longer a stranger, and you guys still don't even know each other's name. That's why I even said the thing with the bracelet, because if grandma gave you the bracelet, she's talking to you about family connections, and instead of saying hello, you just skip the hello part and like, hey, and then you're automatically in the together. Now, you know, we're not saying do this, and we're not saying we're the pickup artists of the week. We're just saying that, like, you got to start thinking about these kind of things in order to become engaging and to create that momentum. Um, they say you got to fail 9 times to succeed on the 10th, right? Now, what I say that in regards to, like, one, it's a numbers game when you holler at women, right? So just keep
Right,
throwing your fist
rejection
up.
is part of the deal.
Yeah, man,
Rejection
and
is
you
not
won't
personal.
even deal with that. You got to take that on the chin
You
and
gotta be
keep.
stronger. You gotta be
Yeah,
stronger.
number 2, right? Be stronger,
That's
right?
right. Be strong.
So so, uh, so even if you get rejected, keep it moving, go on down, especially like, hey, get up today and be like, hey man, I'm gonna go holler at a girl today. For good or bad. That's one of the things that I used to love doing is just go to the mall. I know malls don't exist no more, but I used to love going to the mall and just practicing. How many girls' phone numbers can I get today? Get like 8, 9, 10 girls. Then you just throw them all out because I didn't care. I was just practicing. You know what I mean? I'm married. Listen, I am married. I don't wear a ring because my watch is a ring, but I am married. And I will go out and I will holler at girls all the time. Like I'll pick up on 'em, get the number, and I talk to my wife about it. I gotta stay fresh and clean for her. You know what I mean? So I do it all the time. And one of the things when we were talking about young men, about not talking to girls, well, I take my wife to the beach with me, and she'll sit at the beach. I'll go play in the water, and the Hawaiian guys are very shy. They're very shy, and I'll see like a group of like young guys, like maybe 4 guys swimming in the pool, like 20, and there'll be like some tourist girls they're all kind of gawking at. But like, man, go talk to them. Oh, no, 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 no. I was like, man, I'm gonna go talk to them for you. And I'll go sit in a group of girls. Come on, let's go. And then I'll bring them together and then I keep it moving out. So if you're an older guy listening to this and you got the gift of gab, help out the shorty, man. Help them start talking to girls. You know what I
Help them
mean? Be a
out.
leader.
Help them out.
Yeah,
Okay, so
that's
we're
right.
coming
Be
back
a
to this, and that
wingman.
is, guys, young men, we're here to help you, okay? That's part of my personal mission, mentoring young men. You wanna talk? You hit me up. I'm happy to talk. You know what I mean? I'm ready to have a dialogue. You wanna walk and talk with us around Green Lake on a Saturday morning? I'm there. I'm there. Hit us up in
Right.
the chat. And if you got questions, and if you got it, like, if you don't have anybody that you can ask these kind of questions to, we're here, okay?
Ask us. Send an email, get in the chat, or better yet, join our live stream and we'll bring you on. You can ask those questions, right? We're available. We want to engage. If you're in a different community than where we live in Hawaii or in Seattle, then talk to us and we'll bring you on live stream and we'll talk about it next time. All right.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so just to kind of wrap up on this, guys, look, we know it's not easy right now. We know challenging time. We got AI, we got all kinds of crazy isolation, apathy, all this stuff going on. We're legalizing pot. You guys are smoking it all up. There ain't nothing left for the rest of us. But
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
thing is, like, you know, don't give up. Okay. We're here to help. There are a lot of people who are willing to help you. Things get really dark. Do not give up. Get up, get out, follow Uncle Marcus's 6 steps to getting your shit together. I guarantee you things will lighten up, okay? What do you
That's
say,
right.
Professor?
That's right. I mean, I'm gonna say I'm gonna end this with my word for the day. Actually, diligence. You have to be diligent. Be diligent for yourself. Pay attention to yourself. Pay attention to what's going on. Make your world happen. Don't let the world happen to you. And that's what we're talking about, guys. All right. Any other men in here that are listening that feel like they got a plan or they got an idea of how they handle some of the stuff we talk about, share it in the comments, because the people who may be struggling with these topics are going to read those comments. All right. What do you say?
I'm down there. I feel like, the professor's gonna start like hip hop charm school for young men. He's
I
gonna
don't
be
know
like,
about that. And that's what makes me nervous, right? Like, while we can have the gift of gab to talk to people, see, that's part of the problem, right? People think like, oh, you have to be really cool, or oh, you're too cool. No, that's not the thing, man. Just be calm. Just be a little
yeah,
confident, a little self-confidence. And that self-confidence is built by setting tiny goals and achieving them. In Communication 101, that's a simple scholarship theory, is that you literally do something like, I'm going to do 10 push-ups today. Even if you do one an hour, I'm going to do 10 push-ups today. And guess what? You're going to feel better about it when you go to bed tonight and you wake up tomorrow. You're like, man, I should do 10 push-ups. And if you don't, you're going to be down on yourself. And okay, I'll give you an example. Kids, again, 30. I'll give you an example. If I see you and you're smoking, you're like, yeah, man, I'm going to quit smoking. And I'm like, man, good for you, man. Right on. I hope you do that. And then I see you in 3 months and you're like, oh, I got to go take a smoke break. And I say, oh, I thought you told me you're going to quit smoking. I'm not being hard on you. I'm not being down on you, but your self-esteem will drop
hmm
automatically because you said you were going to do something that you didn't, and now you think you're being perceived negatively. That's not the
hmm
case. I'm not being negative towards you, but that's how perception works. But if I don't see you for 3 months and you don't tell me you're going to quit smoking, and then when I see you, I was like, oh man, don't you need a smoke break? You're like, no, actually, I quit. I'm like, what? Oh my God, congratulations. I'm sure that was difficult. Your self-esteem will go through the fucking roof. So the idea is that keep a lot of your goals to yourself. Focus on building that inner inertia, that personal inertia. Get some momentum going, right? Make a smoothie, do a push-up, go out, look for work. If you got a job, start looking around at what it takes for a promotion. You can have a timeline in your head. Well, I can't get that
yeah,
promotion for a year. What are those things you can work on for the next year to keep improving yourself? You got to improve yourself. Do not stay stagnant. Be diligent.
that's right. Keep moving forward. If you're not moving forward, you're moving backward. All right, professor, this has been pretty lively.